Here are the top 5 metrics that 8-figure brands and beyond are using to scale their retention program. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Josh. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Chronos, and I help brands crush retention so that you can scale acquisition profitably. If you like the very copy of our retention dashboard that we use for 8-figure brands, click on the link down below. This is what the top 1%ers in e-commerce are using to scale retention and track every single important metric in the program. Now let's get into it. The first metric that everybody should pay attention to, it's right there, but no one does, is unique click numbers. Not click rates, but the actual absolute numbers of number of clicks that you're seeing in your dashboard on a month-to-month, week-on-week basis. The reason this number is so important is to understand how your program is growing and evolving over time. You want to see this number grow consistently and increase in absolute count on a weekly, if not a monthly cadence. The reason that this is different from click rates and unique click rates is that click rates tell you the efficiency of your email program and your SMS program, but it doesn't tell you how much traffic you're actually driving to your site. And that's what unique click numbers actually tell you. And I look at this number on a consistent basis as well in our dashboard to make sure that our program is growing over time. And it's also a reflection on how quickly our list and our engagement are growing on a consistent basis. Metric number 2, new customers versus repeat customers as a percentage. Now, this is a great way to take a look at how you're growing acquisition versus retention on a balancing scale. Now, you never want to have new customers dominating revenue all the way through, and you never really want repeat customers to be dominating revenue all the way through, because the former implies that you don't really have a retention program that is sustainable long-term if you're consistently seeing 90% or more of your revenue being derived from new customers, and vice versa. If you're seeing the majority of your revenue coming from repeat customers, that might be an indication that your acquisition program is suffering. So having a good balance between the two is a nice place to be. For a non-subscription business, for a non-subscription brand, I like to see the ratio sit right around 30% to 40% repeat revenue, and the majority of it coming from new revenue. Metric number 3, list growth. Now this specifically is new email additions to visitors ratio. This gives you a good indication on how efficiently you're collecting leads and capturing leads throughout your funnel and throughout your landing pages. This tells you the number of new emails that you're gaining per visitor that you're paying for via paid ads or other channels on your site. This is very important to keep an eye on, and this applies to both email and SMS, by the way. So this could also be new SMS additions to visitor ratio. And this gives you a overarching holistic view on how efficient your pop-up or lead capture strategies are. Number 4, negative engagement metrics. Now, these are a series of metrics. So I cheated a little bit here. These are a series of 3 metrics: bounce rates, unsubscribe rates, as well as marked as spam rates. And these numbers can also be translated to absolute numbers to keep an eye on how it's evolving over time. At Chronos, we keep an eye on rates over absolute numbers as a indicator of success, or rather a negative indicator of engagement. And the lower it is, the better it's going to be. You want to keep your negative engagement metrics below these numbers over here, and you want to make sure that it stays that way as you scale your email program. Meaning, the more emails that you send and the more campaigns that you schedule, ideally you want to see these numbers go down over time. Lastly, volume of sends. This is the 5th metric that 8-figure brands are keeping an eye on consistently to scale their email program and retention program. Volume of sends allow you to keep an eye on the overall efficiency of the program, as well as whether or not the program is working in the first place. Often, you might find that as your program grows, you have more than 10, 20, 30 flows and automations set in place, as well as a massive series of campaigns that you have scheduled in your program. And you might lose track of 1 or 2 of these automations, and you might not notice that some of them might have been switched off, or its triggers might not be working. And then when you discover it, it already might be a couple days since, and that could be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of revenue lost and left on the table. So what we like to keep an eye on as a fail-safe throughout is keeping an eye on volume of sends. And we know how quickly it should be growing on a week-on-week basis, or even on a daily basis. And that's gonna give you a peace of mind on understanding your program at a glance without necessarily going back into your ESP, your Klaviyo, or OmniSend, or MailChimp, or HubSpot every single day and checking that every single triggers are working. Final bonus idea for those of you that want to explore a little bit more. You can track LTV, or lifetime value, as well as AOV by conversion source, including email, SMS, ads, social, organic, and more. This gives you a full picture of the value of each customer, as well as the value of their purchases over time based on the source from which they have converted from. This gives you a full picture of what's going on in your marketing mix, and it allows you to optimize your spend a little bit more efficiently and allocate your budget and money over all of the channels that you have. With that, that's the end of the video. Click on the link down below if you'd like a copy of the dashboard that we use for our brands, as well as additional resources and training around the retention dashboard. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.